Hey everyone, welcome back to one of my streams in the Better Than Myself report. Was your host, the American Cyber King himself, Johnny Ross. Right. I have good news. I'm actually feeling a lot better than myself than before. But the thing is, I'm not trying to do much of like losing weight anymore. It's like more like staying cut. As I mentioned since the previous stream, I'm not gonna worry too much about weight. Now I feel like it's from understanding along with the previous amount of audience I have, I was encouraged to pretty much get cut, and I'm pretty much doing it right now. So how am I doing it? Is that a good highlight I have for the week is that I've been doing these barbell squats with say how much does it weigh? It's like 90 pounds from each side. So I've been doing that like often, like twice this week in the YMCA. It's of course I'll be honest with you guys, it doesn't get easier, but I know it's been worth it. And on top of it, it's I'm oh another catch or highlight is that I've been doing deadlifts. I often do it like every Friday, and pretty much I still keep the momentum going with myself. So so for the audience that's currently sticking around with me right now, I'm gonna show you what's actually been going on since that I've understand the fact that I need to get cut. So my arms, for example, I love my arms. So I don't know if you guys can see it really carefully in the camera because I don't know if my Chromebook can see it well, but I can hopefully trace it along with you guys. But so as you hopefully if you can see if I can see it right now along with you guys. So usually I can't. I think that I can't along with you guys. I don't think I can see it right, but if I just relax it right, this angle, all right. So I don't look too awkward doing this, but somewhere around here, like I see some vascularity going on over here, and also is going on over here in this portion of the arm. Same idea for the other side. Like I do my arm workouts also along with my grinds throughout last week. If I just relax it right, it's a little tricky for me to show it properly, but see it just simply like around here though, like from my experience, has some vascularity going on over here, and sometimes sometimes when I grind I just uh I just keep seeing a lot of my veins showing up, which is a good thing. So I'm just taking it as a sign that I need to just to keep up the momentum. Now, okay, so we got a really good question I like to share along was in this report. Shout out to Gunnar Bostrom. So usually when I work out, I usually work out like for an hour and a half, 45 minutes to cardio or just pacing myself in any device such as the elliptical or the bike. Usually for bikes, I do it for a half hour, and then I do lifting after. So for a good example, like Monday, I do the elliptical workouts for 45 minutes, and then after that, I do the barbell bench presses, and I also do the shoulder presses. And what's another workout that's important? It's something to do with your shoulders. I forgot the name of it, but pretty much it's very tricky to do. But I try my best to actually practice it as much as I can. It's this kind of workout that you have this one dumbbell, and it's kind of awkward for me to do it, but pretty much the idea is you trying to do this type of workout when you do I don't know how to describe it. It has to do with somewhere in this portion of your muscle that when you move it, this portion of your muscle actually gets stronger on the way. So I don't know what they call it, but I forgot, unfortunately. But that's part of my session. So so what actually kept me motivated as like right now is just the positivity I have in my life right now, and I'm taking good advantage of it. It's you see, um most of the time when I post my social media, I've been considering what I'm doing my workouts beyond personal, and it really is because I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not sure if I shared a story or a portion of my journey, but so throughout my entire life, I spent like 10 years not being able to overcome obesity, and it was tough in in my teenage years to my adult life. And so let's just say, to be general, like I've been meditating, and I was just wondering about was it in my life as an adult, like after I returned from Cambodia, is like what do I actually really lack since I've been changing into a much better person and improving myself spiritually, temporally, etc. And I found out for myself that I like health, and so I took it upon myself to realize that okay, I think it's a good time for me to really change because I got sick and tired of being who I was for way over 10 years. Like I feel like what I need to do with myself is like way overdue. So I took it upon myself to take advantage of the positivity I had in my life when I started jotting down my gratitude journal. I'm just like, you know what? I've been becoming a lot more happier. I should do a lot more for myself for the sake of productivity. And so later on, like as I started the previous semester of feeling well, like okay, I'm approaching my time in the fall semester. Okay, haven't approached the YMCA. I don't know too much about it. And then so my older sister mentions to me like since I wanted to be more active, she says like, "Hey, why don't you just use the YMCA and use your benefits from college from it?" I'm just like, "We can do that." And so and like I was literally like on jeans at the time, like I was not wearing shorts, and I I come across the YMCA, got my ID, able to go in, and and then I show up at the gym. Wasn't too aware of the locker room and stuff. Like I was in jeans and my backpack and all this nonsense, nonsense. As in like just normal clothing. I don't bring for like workouts at all. I was just very engaged in just using the elliptical like it's like my treadmill. So that I think so. I hope that answers your question, Russell, concerning what kept me motivated, and so, or pretty much how I got started and how I ended up having this impulse to work out so much. Thank you guys so much for the birthday wishes. It has happened like a few days ago, and it was a blast. I say it is. So, anyways, so to follow up with another of you guys' questions. So, what music I like to listen to when I work out and my favorite artists? Well, I think you guys know the obvious. Lindsey Sterling's definitely one of them. I miss her a lot, and anyways, so there's Lindsey Sterling. I One of the songs I like to listen to is "Don't Let This Feeling Fade," and that's one of the songs I love to listen to a lot because it keeps me motivated, and it just makes keeps me pumped and keeps my motivation going. So that's one of the artists. Um, So another one of these artists I listen to is honestly, it's not really. I don't know what I call him. I think it's a. I'll just say they're artists. It's known as CFO dollar sign. They're actually the current music makers of WWE, and I love to listen to like WWE themes, like their entrance music of WWE superstars. I'll give you a good example, like Brock Lesnar, the next big thing. I love that. I love that music is because it makes you sound like it makes you feel like tough and like you really want to take on what you need to do was in your grind. And another song or music that I listen to when I work out is this is like outside of not yeah, outside of WWE. So it's another wrestling theme song. Well, not theme song, but it's just a theme music. Moving on. So so it is a AEW superstar known as MJF, and it doesn't really have a title, but it's called Better Than You. I say because his gimmick is well, pretty much he believes that he is better than anyone, and he assumes that everyone knows it. So very, very, very hilarious character for a wrestling superstar. He's a real jerk, but that's pretty much how he acts. So my favorite WWE wrestler of all time is that's a really tough question for me to answer because if you were talking about current one, it wouldn't be not wouldn't be. It's just that's a tough question for me to think about. I'll just answer it this way. So my favorite wrestler of all time is Chris Jericho, and the reason why I picked him as my favorite wrestler of all time is because, well, in my opinion, he is the goat, the greatest of all time. He I love his finisher, especially his new ones such as the Judas Effect, Code Breaker, and Walls of Jericho is like a cool submission move I love seeing. Man, man, this is so awesome. Yeah. So yes, I. How do you feel about that video with the collab with a bunch of fans? So 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 to answer White Stringham's question about how I felt about that collab in the fan lyric video is honestly I was very very surprised. I didn't actually see that coming, and it's I didn't really think that I made the cut to be a part of that video. But in a nutshell, like um to continue on this stream, like to close off this report, and then we can just keep conversing from here. I'm very happy of the audience we're having over here in this session. So the question as of like right now is, will I keep going as of like today? And my answer is yes, because I know that I can still be better than myself, and I still know it. So thank you, each and every one of you guys, for tuning in. This is incredible. 10 people are actually watching this. This is like twice as much as I expected last week. Now, move on with more questions. Oh, you know what? To one of my former companions, Russell. Yeah, absolutely. I personally think that that's just uh, I'll put it simply this way. Like, I definitely like the video that was a part was better than what we participated in from that one area in our mission. Honestly forgot about it for good since that I'm glad nobody talks about it much than how it was way back then. So anyways, so yeah, I I love I'm very very humbled that I was a part of that lyric music video, and I didn't see that coming at all. It's just like just for a tiny amount of seconds, but I guess it's just what happens when you just pay close attention to your social media, I guess. But yeah, do you guys have any more questions? Like I love to answer more of them since I already wrapped up my betters and my self reports. So oh, you guys are so hilarious. Yeah. My typical Chipotle order? That's a very good question. You know, my typical Chipotle order. It's been a very, very long time I actually been to a Chipotle. Like, what do I love about Chipotle? I remember I remember I had their chicken burritos, I think, with beans in it and rice. But I can't really recall like the literally the last order. That's how long it's been, but I know it's delicious. Um I have a I have a question for you guys. So from where you are, like is there Moe's over there? Like Moe's Southwest Grill? So while I'm asking that question, so so let's see now. You guys haven't heard of Moe's? Oh man. Okay, for those who don't know about Moe's Southwest Grill, so I remember the very, very first time I've been to that place, and I love that place for their salsas. And so there's like their salsa bar with the chips that they give. It's a lot of chips along with the burrito that they give. So I remember my first visit, I had their like scorpion pepper salsa. It is unbelievably delicious, and I also have their queso in that place, and I also love their burritos over there. It's like nice and warm, and they have like chicken, steak. I think in Mondays, which is what this place is known for, is from Mo's Mondays, is that they have a special sale for their burritos, and so like um me and a close friend of mine take advantage of the deal, or he mentioned that earlier and he recommends that with me. So we had like a meal a meal over there sometimes, and from my experience, I highly recommend people to visit Mo's Southwest Grill. I think also this place is known for like having this very nice hip rockish style, but with the hint of like Hispanic food in there. I really, really love their uh their food over there. It's so while we're at it, since the stream is technically over and we're like in overtime, like I want to share a funny story. So on the way when I was heading to Cambodia from the MTC, I I remember when I was with my MTC companion, and we all the MTC group, which I was with, like as we're on our way to head to like China first. So I've we visited Cafe Rio for our first time, and I don't know how's it like, and and so after like my first conversation with my mother or our parents, and so we've so after visiting Cafe Rio, I had their burritos, and I was told that we need to wrap up and hurry up and get going with it. And so like I was asked like, "Oh, would you like sauce with that burrito?" And I'm just like, "Who puts sauce on their burrito?" And so I just like, no, I'll just take it as what it is. And so then later on, as as we're about to head to the plane or stuff, like have that dinner ready, and then just then then everybody's like telling me like, say like, dude, you should have put the sauce on it. I'm just like, really? Honestly, I think it's because like where I'm coming from is that I have never experienced a Mexican restaurant that actually puts sauce over their burritos. Like the only stuff that would eat that stuff is like over like chimichangas or something like that, or empanadas, but never like on burritos. I never thought about that ever, or ever putting that on on a burrito. Honestly, I thought it was kind of brilliant. And now that I like 2 years ago, like coming back to Utah, is then I had the sauce with the steak burrito in Cafe Rio. It was really good, along with like the salad along with it. Uh, I miss Utah already. Now that I'm actually fit, I would love to show myself to you guys to like just see how much I've actually changed. um, Must be a Western thing, huh? How about that? Hmm. You know what's kind of funny? Uh, so in my honest opinion, um, I if for those of you guys that follows me in my social media, I my opinion when it comes to like burgers and stuff, like especially when I visited Utah last time, I one time when I visited In and Out Burger one time, and it's good, but I wouldn't say it's the best in my opinion because I I had burgers like from my hometown that's like better than the In and Out burgers. Maybe it's because I haven't tried their other dishes that they offer, like the what's that, the animal style. I haven't tried that yet from In and Out, but I was grateful that I tried it for my first time. But like, so what I mean by like my hometown, like having like better burgers than In and Out. So there's like always good times in my hometown. Delicious place. Uh, I love their place for their mountain milk burgers, which is a patty with two grilled cheeses as buns, and I think there's a bunch of special sauce on it, and of course lettuce, and yeah. So that's a very good question. My plan on visiting Utah again is I'm not really so sure. So I if I were to make a goal to return back to Utah, maybe 2022, maybe is why I want to come back. Cause the reason is because on 2020, there's like a special plan I have. I want to do me and my family wants to do as soon as I graduate off of Onondaga Community College, and I don't want to make this too crisp of a fact to be true because um we're still like on a balance of doing what we need to do as like right now, and it's just a lot of work that we need to do as a family. It's not just like myself, and so it's just a lot to put up with. So the reason why I don't really quote me on that, like if I were to return to Utah, it'll be 2022. It's just because you'll never know, like when I'll come back like a little earlier. I'll give you a good example. All of you guys a good example. So I'm in this stage of adulthood that I have to make a crucial decision of if I'm gonna work during the summer or or work in the summer is then transfer somewhere. And clearly I don't know yet because it's I'm very, I guess, focused and targeted onto just earning the my computer information systems programming degree, which is an associate's degree on that program. And it won't get easier if I my problem is that if I were to, I guess, like go ahead and go into the plan of like transferring, I'm just like it's gonna take over the time that I'm gonna do to focus on my studies on my programming or coding, etc., etc. And so I wouldn't say don't worry too much about um, it being a long time for me to come back to Utah. I'm very confident it might be way earlier than that. It depends. It depends how I'm gonna work on my welfare. So so what I mean by this is that so I have one semester left in Onondaga Community College, and I'm in that again, like I'm in that stage in time in my adulthood that I have to find a job or find a job and transfer. Oh, I forgot to give that extra detail. Was in that uh transferring the transferring part of like my plan of I'm thinking about is that uh I've been encouraged a lot by my home ward that I should probably try out BYU Idaho. But my biggest problem is that I don't really know if I can put up with moving to another place in BYU, Idaho, because from my experience, I don't know much about that campus. And like from how I put up with how I put up with my academics is like I'm just very nervous to take that leap just yet. I'll just put it this way though, I'm still praying about it. I feel like I feel like my plans are coming in very slowly on the way, but it's very tricky because I'm just very focused on my studies. So, man, it's been a pretty long day today. Like I've been doing a lot of reading in my intro to philosophy class. I wouldn't say it's boring, but it's like very, I guess, I don't want to say it's boring. It's just a repetitive class because what you do is just pretty much read and talk about it, and then just read and talk about it. It's just pretty much the pattern I see so far when it comes to when it comes to philosophy class. This is incredible. Uh, so so I, as far as I'm studying, I'm studying skepticism, and welcome Alex to the stream. And so I don't really have a favorite philosopher just yet, just because I'm just there to like to learn to I'm just I guess I'm still taking samples of like everyone in their philosophical ways. Like recently, like today, there's this guy named William Clifford, and I'm just like reading about his views, and then I'm also reading about Augustus and his philosophical ways, especially when it comes to God and etc. So to answer that question, Morgan, is I do not know that I don't think I've studied that far yet into intro to philosophy. If that's the issue, um, I can't answer that. But Let's see. I think a really cool term that I learned one time in intro to philosophy class is this term called pragmatist, which is, if I understand this correctly, is that you don't believe anything, but you believe once you see it. That's what a pragmatist is. Wow. Oh man, I'm a little tired, guys. But if you guys can do me an important favor and like and share the stream if you like, and it's up to your it's up to you guys. Like, you guys made this a really good reason why I want to keep up with this Bears and Myself report. So, do you guys got any extra questions before I um to before I wrap this report up? Any last questions? All right, so next stream is going to be next Saturday. Like, that's my main time. I usually do this. If it changes, I usually post in my social media of any changes I make, but it's usually on Saturday. So, oh, before I go, I got something to really share that I've experienced last week. I totally almost forgot. So I tried whey protein first time in my shakes. This stuff I highly recommend. You guys should really try this. This is not a sponsorship. This is just me just sharing what I've been enjoying. But I actually recommend this whey protein. It's delicious. And but otherwise, that's pretty much all I have for this stream. You guys are freaking awesome. Jeez, 30 minutes in this stream. I've never experienced that before in my YouTubing uh hobby, I guess. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the stream. You guys are so awesome. I'm very humbled for the attendance for tonight. Good night, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, love you guys. Hugs in advance.